Hi there. Today I have a Q&A episode for you all. I'm going to answer a question I recently received on Instagram. If you're interested in submitting a question for me to answer in a future episode, go ahead and follow me on Instagram where I'll solicit questions monthly. My Instagram handle is at Sleep and Wellness Coach. Hi, I'm Allison Egidi, a pediatric sleep and wellness coach and a mom of two. I love to help parents find solutions. This is How Long Till Bedtime. Today's question comes from Melissa. She said, "My 3-year-old refuses to let my husband put her to bed. Help." This question immediately grabbed my attention because this is a very common struggle, and it's one that can generally be fixed within a week. First, I want you to know, Melissa, that this is very normal for a child to have a preferred parent at bedtime. And I also want to note that while the mom is often the preferred parent, that's not always the case. I work with a lot of families where the dad is the preferred parent. My first piece of advice is to try not to take it personally. If your child prefers the other parent to put them to bed, step 1 is to let go of that frustration, guilt, and or resentment. For years, my oldest Addison preferred to have daddy put her to bed. I think it started because when I had my younger daughter, daddy had to do a lot, and so she really started to get attached to him at bedtime. My youngest, Ainsley, however, still to this day has a very strong preference for me to put her to bed, but she will absolutely accept daddy putting her to bed. And in fact, last night she got up from the dinner table, turned to Mike, and said, "Daddy, will you take me upstairs to read to me and put me to bed?" I was shocked, and if I'm being honest, it stung a little bit, but it's a good thing. Mike never guilts her for her preferences. He shows up for her at bedtime, even when it's clear that she would prefer me. And yesterday, she decided she wanted her daddy. This is a win for everyone other than my ego. When I'm working with a family, it's never my goal to have a child change their stance on their preference. My goal is to help the child become comfortable with either parent putting them to bed. Hands down, the easiest way to approach this issue with a preschooler or an early elementary age child is to take turns doing bedtime, meaning mom does bedtime one night, and then dad does it the next, and then mom does it, and then dad, etc. But how you present it and a few little nuances are really important to ensure that this is successful and the parent resistance ends in a very short period of time. First, I want you to explain the change, explain the new plan. Here's an example of what I could say to my daughter. "Ainsley, both mommy and daddy love putting you to bed. So we've decided that we're going to take turns. Tonight, it's mommy's turn. By the way, I want you to start with the preferred parent for the first night. Tonight, it's mommy's turn. Tomorrow, it will be daddy's turn. And then it will be mommy's turn again." If she were to say, "No, I just want mommy to put me to bed," I would respond with, "I know that you want mommy to put you to bed, and I love putting you to bed. And I will still be doing it when it's my turn. But daddy also loves to put you to bed. So by taking turns, we both get to put you to bed." If she were to continue to push back, I would simply say, "Ainsley, I know this will be different, but the good news is that mommy and daddy are going to help you." I want you to notice that I'm not negotiating with her, and I'm not trying to convince her that this is a good idea. I'm just confidently telling her the new plan and telling her why we decided to do it this way, because we both love putting her to bed. I realize this might be a little bit of a fib, and I generally advocate for telling our kids the truth, but let's just pretend for now that you do both love putting your child to bed. The second key to success here is having the one parent who's in charge of the bedtime do the entire bedtime routine. When your child has a strong preference for one parent, we want that separation from that parent to happen before the routine starts. I don't want both of you to be helping with bath or both of you sitting in the room for reading, and then the one parent needing to leave and the other being left to deal with the repercussions and the tucking in. If it's your turn to do bedtime, whether you're the preferred parent or the one that's a little less preferred, you need to do the entire process with your child. That means the bath, the PJs, the books, the tucking in, etc. Have your child say goodnight to the other parent before you go start the routine. This gives your child more time to recover from their potential disappointment, and it removes any potential tension that could be in the room between the parents when you're going through that routine together. I promise you that children pick up on it if the two of you get it all annoyed with each other and how one of you is doing something during that sensitive time. And that's going to make the separation of the preferred parent leaving even harder. Sometimes it makes the separation harder if there isn't a preference. So I really encourage you to just have one parent do the entire routine. The third key to success is not bailing your partner out if things aren't going well. This can be really tricky, particularly if you've been doing bedtime on your own for a long period of time and your partner hasn't done it in ages, or they've never done it, or they only do it when you're not in the house. You really have to resist that urge to go in and rescue everyone. It's true that your child may throw a fit the first 1 to 3 times the quote, other parent puts them to bed. That's okay. Your child is allowed to be disappointed or frustrated with this change. The job of the parent in charge of bedtime is to hold calm space for their child's frustration, but also to confidently forge ahead. You can acknowledge their disappointment and your continued desire to do bedtime. You could say, I know you want mommy, but tonight it's daddy's turn. Tomorrow it will be mommy's turn again, but tonight daddy gets to put you to bed. Simply say that and then calmly keep the routine moving along. Even if your child is not calm, your job is to continue to help them through each step of the bedtime routine. I want to note that the first few times the less preferred parent does bedtime, it might be bumpy and it might end with a child who is still really disappointed. But I promise that if you stick with it and show your child that their emotions are not going to scare you away from helping them with bedtime, they're going to not only stop resisting you, they're going to start to enjoy doing bedtime with both of you. Both of you separately, but both of you. Each morning, even if bedtime wasn't great, you can say to your child, hey, I enjoyed putting you to bed last night, and I can't wait for it to be my turn again. And don't get upset if they push back. You just need to confidently forge ahead. So there you have it, Melissa. I can't wait to hear that your 3-year-old is accepting of dad putting her to bed. And I hope this helps any other parents currently struggling with this same issue. If you found this episode helpful, I would love for you to take a screenshot of it, share it on Instagram, and tag me so I can see it. My Instagram handle is @sleepandwellnesscoach. Thank you for joining me again here today for this episode of How Long Till Bedtime. I hope you'll come back again. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to How Long Till Bedtime. To learn how we can work together to improve your child's sleep, please visit sleepandwellnesscoach.com.